Hey everybody, this is Carl with Drive and Ride Motors, and we are Moncton's newest spot for quality used vehicles and motorcycles. If you like these type of videos, or you like reviews on vehicles, be sure to subscribe. Today I'm going to be taking a look at this beautiful 2019 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited JL. So this is, you can see the color of this is really nice and deep granite color. It's actually called crystal granite. This Jeep actually has 12,000 kilometers on it right now, so hardly broken in. And it's the 3.6 liter engine in it, and so that's good for 285 horsepower as well as 260 pounds of torque. If you're planning on doing any towing, because it's the 4-door model, it's good for 3,500 pound towing as opposed to only 2,000 pounds for the 2-door model, so that's a bonus there as well. So right off the bat, when you're looking at this Jeep, you're going to notice that this is not a stock Jeep, and we have done some upgrades to it. The very first thing you're going to notice is the Cooper Discover STT Pro tires on here. So these are roughly 35-inch tires, and they've got a real nice mud lug to them. They're sitting on some custom rims. They're Hilo rims, which are 18-inch by 9-inch wide, and so you can put some really nice wide tires on those rims, and that's going to give it a nice high stance. Of course, when you put tires like that on a vehicle, you're going to need to give it a little bit of a lift so you don't scrape anywhere. We have installed the 2-inch Mopar Fox Shocks lift system for the Jeep Wrangler. Now this is a specific lift kit that has been designed for this Jeep. It's approved by Jeep. It doesn't void any of the warranties. And you'll also notice we have the Westin TRAXX 4 side steps on here, the tubular side steps, which gives it a nice custom look. And for the most part, other than that, she's mostly stock. Now, in 2018, Jeep has redesigned their Wrangler, and so that's what the new JL series is over the JKs. Now, a couple things you can notice with the new styling cues that really give it, I think, a nice modern look to it is right off the bat, you're going to notice the headlights are a little bit bigger and they intrude a little bit onto your grille. You'll notice on the front hood, we've got a nice body line in there, a little bit of a scoop looking like, which gives it a big beefy look, and that's really nice, and you know, I really like how they've done that. Another area here is the vent, which is right over here behind the front fender, and that's going to let some airflow flow through, because the front fender is separated from the bumper, and you've got this little air panel here that air can go through, and that's going to give you better mileage, supposedly. They've done a couple other things too. We've got a nice body line going down the whole body of the Jeep here, and another upgrade they've done, again for fuel efficiency, is they've actually increased the angle of the front windshield. I believe it's about 30%, I could be wrong, from the original one, from the JK that is. And so that's just going to give you a little bit more of a slant. Most people don't even notice it, but it does help a little bit with aerodynamics. One of my favorite upgrades that they've done to this Jeep is they've totally re-engineered the soft top. This particular Jeep we have for sale actually comes with the hard top and the soft top. The soft top is what we have on today. It's a beautiful sunny day in the summer. It's great to put that soft top down. With the new soft tops, they've actually eliminated all the zippers, and so now they're actually using a system like a rail-based system. If any of you guys have ever had the Jeep with the soft top before, you'll know that the zippers was really a point of contention for a lot of owners, made it really difficult to take off and on. So they've fixed that, and I'm going to actually do a demonstration on how easy it is to remove this soft top and to put it back together. So there's actually 3 ways you can take this soft top down, 3 different modes if you would, and I'll show you all 3 of them. So the first one you're going to do is you're going to just flip up the top back, and so this is going to allow just the driver and passenger and actually the back seat to have an open air, but you don't have to remove any windows or anything. So inside you'll see there's a couple clips there, and you just pull those clips back, the 2 clips, and then you're going to be able to lift it up. And so simply lifting this up, pushing it down, you're now able to cruise around, and the entire inside of the Jeep is actually exposed to the sun, and you can see that's as simple as literally 5 seconds of removal. To remove the back windows, you simply pull these little flaps out. You've got this, you pull these out here. There's basically little plastic flanges that'll go inside here, and it's all friction based. So pull those out, pull that up, and so this is actually how you can get into the back hatch of the Jeep if you're planning on loading up the back. But since we're going to take the soft top down, we're going to want to slide that right out. And so we just simply pull that out. Again, no zippers makes that a lot better and quicker to remove. The side windows are the exact same thing. I'll do the same to the other side. And so you can see that in under a minute, you can really get the back windows out with a nice little handle right here. You pull on that handle and your whole top is down. So really, in less than 2 or 3 minutes, you're gonna be able to go from fully covered to full top off. But anyways, getting back to the inside, you'll see that there is a nice quality fabric seat. They're kind of bucket seats, so they got a nice hugging status to them. The inside center console has got a nice leather or faux leather feel to it. So again, not all hard and plasticky. It's got some nice give to it. The finish on the inside of these Jeeps are extremely well built. They're very, very rugged. There's no rattling of any sort on interior components. If you've ever ridden a Jeep before, they've been notoriously loud on the highways with wind and airflow with the soft tops. That's been mostly eliminated. Of course, there's still a little bit of that, but the inside is rock solid. The doors are actually made of a nice hard plastic that have a little bit of give to them, and as well some soft pleather or leather inside the door handles. Now, another update they've done to the JL series Jeeps is they have made everything lighter, and that includes the hard top and the doors. So about 20% lighter, which means that if you're going to be removing these doors, because these doors are easily removable by just simply pulling out the 2 bolts and the hinges, it's a lot more manageable to take them off if you're one person. We actually have some WeatherTech custom molded floor mats in this Jeep, so that's an upgrade to the vehicle as well, which if you've ever seen those, they're wonderful. They totally protect your carpet, and so this Jeep has that on the front and the back. And go into the back seat, you'll notice that again, there's plenty of room back here. If you've got 3 full-size adults back here, tons of room for legs. You've got window controls back here for the passengers, and you've got some air vents for the heat in the winter and AC in the summer. A couple cup holders there. There's no cup holders in the doors, again, because they do get removed, and so everything is within the vehicle here. Now, there is a quick pull which will allow you to set your seats right down. And this is one of my favorite features because, quite simply, you can put your seats down, and we have our soft top windows back here. Slap a little mattress back here, and it fits 2 very cozily, or 1 person if you like to do backwoods camping. No tents required, stay nice and dry. Or if you got some big luggage you want to put in here, bigger packages, those seats folding down gives you a whole lot of extra cargo space. And so when you want to put your roof back on, simply lift and slide forward, hop on those side steps, bring that down. Inside here you got a couple little clips. Snap that in there. And as simple as that, you're back to a full roof system, fully installed and waterproof. So the first thing people want to know in a vehicle such as this is the 4-wheel drive, and you can see here this has got a nice separate shifter for your 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, neutral, and 4 low. Right off the bat you have your infotainment center up here, and this is using the UConnect system that Dodge uses in most of their Dodge Jeeps. You can pretty much control everything from this touchscreen, as well as you have some quick manual buttons here. So if I go through here, obviously you got my radio, AM, FM, you can do your presets. If you go into your media section, this is where you can connect your device. So you're going to be able to connect through your USB 1, USB 2, aux, or Bluetooth. Right down here, we got a little flap that you can open up, and this is going to give you access to your media outlets. You got your aux, you got a USB-C, which is really nice for the newer devices, as well as a original USB standard plug there. Now, if you click on the climate area, this is where you're going to be able to control your settings for your air conditioning, your heating. You can also control that from here. Or the touch screen. So you can see everything you can do through here, you can mostly do through here. If you want to increase your fan, lower your fan, and all the different modes. You have the UConnect app system here, and so this is going to let you control a number of the features that the vehicle has, such as the heated seats and cameras and things like that. Mind you, the section option here for control lets you do most of that as well. Your backup cam, you can see here. You've got a nice full screen that shows you where your tires are going to go based on how sharp your wheel is turned, so that's really helpful when you're backing in. You can also control your heated seats from here, high, medium, low, and you can see as you do that, you can change them from here as well. So everything is very nicely integrated. You've got your phone system, so if your phone's connected through Bluetooth like mine is, your hands-free is going to be automatically working through that. And of course you got your settings, which is going to let you control things like your language settings, your display units, miles, kilometers, things like that. So this is all one integrated system. Everything can be done through the touchscreen or through these buttons. And they've got a real nice quality feel to the buttons. So again, not really cheap feeling at all. Everything is real soft touch. This model has heated steering wheel, which is really nice, and the heated seats like we talked about. And one thing that Jeep has is a control system for when you're going down steep inclines. As long as you're in four-wheel low, when you press this button here, this is going to help maintain your speed, and what it basically does is it automatically controls your braking and keeps it in the low gear for you. A lot of people in the Wranglers try to make that work if they're only in 4 high, and it will not work. It's not broken. You need to be in 4 low for that. One other option that this Jeep has, and this is an upgraded option, I believe it's around a $700 option, is the upgraded stereo system, the Alpine subwoofer and the extra speakers. This is, if you look up the reviews on this Jeep, everyone who has it loves it. It's amazing over the stock setting. It's super loud, super crisp and clear. Even with the roof off and you're cruising down the highway, you can crank it up and it's just more volume than you're ever going to want. So this vehicle does have that, and I would highly recommend, if you are looking at buying a Jeep, and this one isn't available of course, to look at that option seriously, because it is well worth the extra money. So bringing it over here and taking a look at the center console, or sorry, the driver's console, you're going to see we've got some real nice analog tachometer and speedometer, which kind of gives it that retro feel, which is really nice. Jeep, of course, has a lot of emphasis placed on their heritage, especially the Wrangler, back from 1941, I believe. And so you're going to see some cues in the background. You see an old Jeep Willys back there, which is kind of neat in the picture. So right off the bat, you can control everything in your driver's console from your steering wheel. You're going to have your standard trip meters. You're going to have your start stop, which I forgot to mention, this vehicle does have ESS, or electronic start and stop. And what that basically means is when you come to a stoplight or stop sign or stopping for any reason, the engine will turn off, and then as soon as you release the brake, it'll turn back on again. So that is a fuel economy setting. You can turn that off in the center console, so if that does, if you find that annoying, you can turn it off. Of course, you can access your media information from here as well, any messages you may have stored. Screen setup if you want. Of course, you can do all that from your center console as well. Your speedometer, so if you're not a big fan of the analog, you can actually go to a digital speedometer, which is quite nice. On either side, you've got your fuel gauge and your engine temperature gauge, which is good. Of course, inside here, you've got a lot of your vehicle information. So this is going to be your transmission temperature, coolant, oil temperature, oil pressure, oil life, and all those things, which is, oil life is kind of nice because sometimes people forget when they change their oil last, or the little sticker in the window peels off and they forgot. So this kind of keeps track of that for you, as well as your battery and your tire pressures. Now the tire pressures are not set on this because when we did the tire swap on there, we didn't include the tire pressure monitor inside these tires. You've got an off-road mode here, which is really cool. This is something that I've only ever seen with the Jeep Wranglers, and it actually tracks your pitch and roll degrees. So if you're going up steep inclines, it'll tell you what the degree is, or if you're going sideways on hills and you're worried about maybe rolling over, you can kind of keep track of that digitally, as well as keeping track of what your drivetrain settings are. So fuel economy for this vehicle is rated between 8.5 and 10.5, I believe. Depends who you talk to. Now that's a stock setting. This Jeep, we've got the big tires on it, big rims, big lift kit. That's going to be a little worse on fuel. Of course, if you're looking at buying a Jeep Wrangler and you're looking at something with big tires, fuel economy is probably not the highest priority for you. However, that being said, I've been testing this vehicle out significantly, and I mean right now it's showing an average of 14, but that's because we've been sitting here idling quite a bit with the AC on doing this review. On average, I'm getting between 10.5 on the nice easy runs on the back road, say 80 kilometers and under, to about 12.5 mixed city and highway. You're basically getting about 2 liters or 3 liters per 100 kilometers worse with the big tires, which is not that bad at all. And then you're back to your trip information here. So that pretty much covers everything on the center console. So next, the steering wheel has a lot of the controls, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. The steering wheel controls here is what's going to control your driver display settings. You also have over here, you have your hands-free settings, so taking phone calls, hanging up, voice control, all that's in there. And I must say, the UConnect system has actually come a very long way. It's one of my favorite brands of car infotainment systems from the big brands. It works really flawlessly. The voice control is super good, and you don't end up calling people you don't want to call by mistake. I think we've all done that before. Over on this side, you've got your basic cruise control settings, and those are pretty much standard like every other vehicle. Now, in behind the steering wheel here, you do have a couple other options. You've got your volume setting behind here, and on this side, you've got your track, next track back, or if you're listening to the radio, you can kind of flip through your stations that way. So that pretty much gives you the overview of this area here. So we can go for a little test drive and see how this rides. Better put the seatbelt on. When you put big tires and a lift kit on a vehicle, it's well known that your ride is going to suffer. And what we found with with this lift kit and with these tires, the ride is not bad at all. Now, what's going to make a big difference over the lift is going to be the tire type. So whether you go with the Cooper tires that we have on here, or you want to go with some Mickey Thompsons, or you want to put some other brands on there, that's going to really affect your drive. But in terms of ride comfort and quality of the ride with these tires and this kit on this Jeep, it's quite good. We're doing 60 now, and you can see that, bringing up the speedometer here, she's got lots of pull, and no problem at all. That 3.6 liter engine has got no problem turning those big wheels, even if you need to get speed while you're doing 60, 70 kilometers an hour. The road noise is minimal. With the soft top on, the air noise is negligible, even at high speeds, 110, 120 kilometers an hour. The ride is very quiet. Now, having said that, it's quiet in terms of Jeep quiet. If you're going to compare this to a Cadillac or a higher end luxury SUV, there's not going to be much of a comparison there. But in terms of modern day SUVs, for what you get with the Jeep in terms of off-road capability and ruggedness, you're not missing out on a whole lot of the creature comforts that you could expect in some of the other SUVs. Let's do a little acceleration test here. We're sitting at 0, and we're just going to see how well it's going to accelerate with the big tires and in a normal situation. So we almost hit 100 there, and that was pretty quick. So for a big lifted lumbering Jeep, I think I'd be pretty happy with that. So anyone who's ever had a Jeep Wrangler before knows that Jeep has done a fun little thing, and they've got what's called Easter eggs. And those are just little accents that they've kind of put into the Jeep to show its heritage or to kind of have fun with it. There's a few of them on here that I'll kind of bring your attention to. The first one is, if you have the stock headlights, which we do, you're going to notice in the middle of each headlight, there's actually the Jeep grille with the 2 headlights. And the Jeep grille has the 7 slots in the grille. So both headlights have that in there, which is kind of cool. Another cool little feature on the JL is if you can see right up here on the front of the hood where the windshield wipers are in, there's actually a little imprint of some sandals there. So if you're a beach goer, Jeeps and beaches typically go together. There's a couple more. Some of them are inside here. And one of them you'll notice is on the shifter, so where you actually change from park to neutral, drive, reverse, is a nice picture of an old 1941 Jeep Willys. And right back here, if you look underneath in the back of the trunk, you've actually got another DC outlet. And right below that is actually a JL, and it's written in Braille, so that's kind of fun as well. There's probably a couple more of them, but those are the ones I found right off the bat. So all in all, you can see that this Jeep is the total package. I hope you enjoyed this review of this vehicle, and if you do enjoy this and you want to see some other reviews or other vehicles we may have for sale, be sure to check us out on our website at driveandride.ca. And don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.